What's up everybody, Jay here and welcome back to the Plant to Tank. And today I just want to talk a little bit about tank maintenance and plant maintenance and what I do when I do a water change. So anyways, let's hop straight into it. First things first, I am going to unplug the heater and the filter. Okay, now that we have everything unplugged, go ahead and drain a little bit of this water. Probably get some of these snails. It's probably good for now. So focused on making the video, I forgot to get my towels. Okay, now that we got some of the water drained down, we don't have to worry about splashing a bunch of water out of here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the glass up. I've got a bunch of comments on using this little, I forget what these are called, Scotch-Brite pad, something like that. I use the green side on the glass and it has never scratched my glass. So I get these from the Dollar Tree, rinse them out really well, and they last a long time. So this is only the second one I've ever bought and it's still going. So keeping the glass clean honestly makes such a huge difference on how good your aquarium or aquascape planted tank is going to look. So in my opinion, it's super important to have really clean glass because you can't enjoy it if you can't see it, right? Now you can take a real good close look at your plants. As you can see, some of these leaves here on the Amazon Sword Compacta are pretty covered in algae, so we'll pinch those off, but definitely gonna get this moss out the Monte Carlo carpet. And then to lift up some of the detritus out of the Monte Carlo, you just kind of want to pat it a little bit. It really helps lift up all that snail poo and all the fish poo, broken down plant material. I'm actually going to pull this Repens here, plant that over here in the middle. That easy. Pat that area back down. This is why I don't do any gravel vacuuming, because really most of this stuff that I'm lifting up ends up getting eaten up by the little microorganisms that live in the substrate, and they'll eat all that up and turn it into plant food, and the plants seem to love it. That's why you see a lot of people doing no water change tanks these days, because really, I mean, you don't really have to do water changes, but that's the style of the hobby that I enjoy doing. I like getting in here, doing water changes, making sure the plants look nice and healthy, make sure everything's getting the proper amount of nutrients. Now ideally, I would remove all of these leaves that have these holes in them like this. These are all from those bladder snails that you saw me sucking up a minute ago. Crypts are typically, in my experience, the first ones to start getting eaten up by snails. And it's typically like fresh, brand new leaves that have just come out of the rhizome and they haven't even unfolded yet. You'll see the tips of them, the snails just chew it right down. Next thing you know, your crypts are not doing very well. Leaf out of here, this leaf out of here. And the reason why you want to prune your Amazon swords like this is because it promotes new, fresh growth right out from the center here. I don't know if you can see these two leaves, but these are brand new. Just came out of the middle. So that's how you keep them nice and bushy. You just keep them nice and trimmed. If you haven't noticed this, aquascape, and I apologize, I just realized that this is the first time you guys are seeing this. These are basically all the plants that I saved from my 40-gallon breakdown, which I will explain that whole scenario in another video. But yeah, this tank is, even the soil, the aqua soil is from my 40-gallon breeder. So really, mature soil. It's probably been going for a solid 3, 4, maybe 5 months at this point. Can't remember exactly when I set up that 40-gallon tank, but I do have a little bit of hardscape in here. I just have a rock here and a rock here, and I believe, yeah, a rock here. And then I kind of just stuff this moss up underneath this Amazon sword. Let me get these. Also snail eggs. If you see any snail eggs, there's some on the glass right here. I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but definitely want to pick those off. Now the way I prepare my plants, see how long and leggy that stem is? I'm just gonna take that section off, replant this, and should be good to go. Take it a little bit of time to root in, but we're gonna move these two also. So hopefully these S. repens in this area will start doing a little better. The light on this tank is a Chi Heroes WRGB2. I believe it's the 45 centimeter version or 18 inch, something like that. But shout out to Chi Heroes. They sent me this light a while back, but I've never really had a chance to put it to good use. But yeah, most of everything is looking pretty good in there, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take out the rest of this water. And again, while you're doing this, you can kind of pat this area down and suck all this stuff up as it comes up. See how it's going right straight up the tube. And I'll tell you one thing that I've learned about Monte Carlo growing this stuff over the years. This stuff loves a really good liquid fertilizer. If you don't liquid fertilize, you're not gonna get near as good a growth if you were not dosing. So definitely use liquid fertilizer with your Monte Carlo. Just move that area over real quick. You know, normally I would take out a little bit more water than this, but for today, I want to leave a lot of those nutrients in there. Just gonna clean up this glass, that way you don't see this stuff once we fill it back up. But yeah, typically I would do probably a good 80%. I'd probably bring it all the way down to here. That's if I'm dosing a lot. If I'm not dosing a whole lot, then I'll just do a regular 50% water change like this. This one's probably closer to like 40 or 30%, but it'll do. I'm gonna dump this out and fill her back up. Now before I fill this back up, I always use this little digital thermometer just to get the temperature of the tank matched up with the water that's coming out of the tap. It's about 79.2. So then I'll match my tap water to within a degree of that. So now, since the water is going, now is a good time to put some of your water dechlorinator in the bucket. And I'm still, no matter how much water I'm putting back in, obviously I'm only gonna be putting in, you know, 7.5, 8 gallons or so. I'm still using this to dose for the entire tank. So, you know, I know nothing's gonna happen. This stuff it destroys chlorine and chloramine and ammonia and all that stuff on contact. You don't really have to wait around and make sure that it doesn't have any chlorine in it. And yes, I do have a Python, but this tank is just so small. Honestly, there's no reason to use a Python. I mean, it takes me 30 minutes to do a water change on this tank maximum. Now I'm gonna use the water that's still in this bucket to also top up my other tank. So there goes the filter, letting all that air out. I'm gonna put another scoop in here. Make sure that mixes around nice. And you can see the main reason why I wiped the glass before I filled it back up, like I wiped the inside of the glass before I filled it back up, is because you'll still see those hard watermarks just from the water drying up on the inside of the glass while you have it drained down and you're doing your maintenance and stuff. But as you can see, if you wipe it off before you fill it back up, it looks amazing when you fill it up. And that's it. That's how I do a water change. Keep my plants nice and healthy. There's one. There's the heater. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you guys are new here, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you never miss another upload. And as always, hit the like button and keep it planted.